Now, it's time for the Varsity Radio Show. Here's your host, Seth Henniger.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to the Varsity Radio Show. It is a fantastic day with fantastic people in the studio. Have we got a show for you? It's going to be a great day here in Varsity Land. And what makes the Varsity so fantastic, I believe, are the people that get to exist in this room. To my right, he is taller than me, which rarely ever happens. He's wearing his Gunnersville pullover, which I like a lot.
Thank you, Seth.
He is one of the coolest people I know. His name, Trevor Holstenbeck. How are you?
Good, how are you, Seth?
Man, I'm good. Good. I got to give you a nickname. I give everybody a nickname, and you don't have one, and I feel like I'm not doing you right, Trevor.
Man,
it's not very nice. But anyway, I'm going to work on that.
Thank you.
So,
Good deal.
Anyway, also in the studio, I say also, we call him the Willy Wonka of radio because he pushes the buttons, he slides the sliders, he tells the Oompa Loompas where to go. His name, the greatest radio producer of all time, Steven Spiegel.
What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a great day. Got a good show lined up. Very rarely do we get the opportunity to have a coach.
Yes.
And have that coach's undivided attention. So we're going to find out. What does it take to make the team?
Yeah.
Not just at a high school level, because this guy has got some history. So we're looking forward to this.
So good.
Yeah,
And
good
Tony Mabrey will be in the studio. He is tremendous. He's coached at the college level. He's coached at the high school level. And I thought, man, what more appropriate to stick a 6'5"? Were you center?
Yes,
I got
sir.
that wrong.
Yeah,
Center
yeah.
to my right. There's no way you couldn't be a center. To my right in here, and then have a basketball coach as our friend, Coach Self. We're hollering you out. Coach
Yes, sir.
Self at Gunnersville is heading down to the final. Well, they're probably there now. The Final Four. And I hope they come back home with a championship.
Me too, that's big time. I'm
And
excited.
DAR, they're also, shout out to DAR Patriots.
Tonight,
Way to
7:30.
go, guys. Way to go.
We're also going to have an update from Greg Glasscock later on in the show. He's going to get us up to date on everything happening there at the finals.
Man, it's going to be a good day.
Yeah.
Hey, but there's a lot of great things that happen during the show. One happens before the show that y'all don't get to see, but Trevor did. Trevor got to experience Charburger.
Ooh, that was good, Seth.
I know, right? I got him a bacon cheese Charburger, which is, Wildcat Burger. It's amazing. It's amazing. It'll make you cry a little bit.
Tears of joy.
I know, right? Like, who doesn't like bacon?
Yeah.
If you don't like bacon, I don't know if we can be friends. I know. Just joking. Anyway, Charburger, home of the famous Char Grill, Wildcat Burger, Philly cheesesteak, and jumbo crispy onion rings. You got some of those too. And then B&B Video Games. It's the Albertville mullet, as my friend Jordan says. Jordan McDaniels. He couldn't be here for the next 2 weeks, but he loves B&B. They have an 80s style arcade in the back, which is really cool, and a local video game retail store in the front. And they are so fun. They're such a fun place. Buy Pizza Hut, as every 80s thing should be. Like I say, Steven, it feels like Pizza Planet from Toy Story.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
And, hey, we want you to come join us on the socials right now because we're about to do some fun stuff. One of my favorite things, Meme of the Week's about to happen. But you can't experience it unless you come watch us. And so come talk to us. We'll talk back on our live stream at Facebook at Varsity Radio Show, Instagram at Varsity Radio Show, Twitter at Varsity Radio 885, and YouTube at Varsity Radio Show 885. We want you to come join us. We'll see you there. So let's hit this.
Memes of the week.
Yes. So if you're there with us and you're enjoying us, I love Lord of the Rings. Have you ever seen it?
I've never seen it.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Because you weren't committed enough to spend 4 hours of your life watching one at a time. But me and Steven's time growing up, that's what we did. We watched all 12 hours and didn't have a life, apparently. Anyway, we didn't have a smartphone then.
Right.
I just dated us. Man, that hurt.
I remember watching Lord of the Rings when I was in college at Jacksonville State.
Right.
Living in an apartment off campus. Oh, did I ever tell you the name of that campus, the off-campus apartment that I was at?
No, please tell me.
It was called, well,
Is it
was,
Mordor?
It was actually named Cottonwood, but we called it Cotton Hood. Because,
Yes.
Yeah, it was a pretty sketchy place.
Like it.
My first apartment.
I would just like
out
to
of home.
say that Steven survived.
I did.
Good job, Steven.
Yeah, man.
I give you street cred for that.
Right?
Yeah. Street smart, street something. Anyway, this is from that movie, Frodo. Do you ever walk into a room and forget why you went there in the first place? And if you watch the movie, you'd understand this. Sam, Mr. Frodo, please just throw the ring into the fire. Steve, you got that, didn't you,
I
Steve?
did. I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. And then somebody from our church posted this, and it's hilarious. She's so funny, too. I want to shout out Tiara Moore. She posts some of the funniest things. Never yell into one of these. You'll strain your voice.
It's just a dad joke if I've ever heard one.
So,
My goodness.
that's terrible. Officially winner of That's Not My Job contest.
Yeah.
You know,
How about that, Steven?
he stays in his own lane. I'm just saying.
He's like, ain't moving it 2 inches.
Right?
Now I will work around this.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Okay. Milky Way, I bet jellyfish are sad that there are no peanut butter fish. This is great.
Sad
Am
existence.
I the only one enjoying that? Come on,
This is
Trevor.
good.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then Steven found this.
I
Oh,
think this
saw
is
that.
genius. Target has a Starbucks inside. It's time Home Depot gets a Waffle House.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
It's perfect.
That's a solid plan.
Now, the Home Depot can close, but that Waffle House stays open
Right.
24/7.
Now, Steven, I heard this, and I don't know if it's true.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to have to research this.
Okay.
But I heard that they are creating a Waffle House on a boat at Lake Martin.
Ooh. Yeah, we're
I
gonna have
heard
to check
that.
out. Are you sure it's a Waffle House and not a Dollar General?
No. Well, that was a solid question. But no, it is in fact a Waffle House.
Wow.
And me and you watched this, didn't we, Stephen? How FEMA determines whether somewhere's really a disaster
Yeah.
zone, whether the Waffle House is open.
Exactly. Because they're open 24/7.
Yeah.
24/7.
Unless they're being
365.
torn out by a tornado, yeah.
Yeah, and wasn't it you that Waffle House on Valentine's Day does like a really nice candlelight dinner?
Oh, we talked about that. Had to have reservations, remember?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I mean, I'm just saying for you and
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
you and your girl, Waffle House.
There you go.
You know, they
Didn't know they could get that fancy.
right. Also, one of the
That's the
funniest
last
things,
one.
like they can't pass a health inspection, but we're all watching it to make sure they get. I'm joking. I like Waffle House and the Huddle House. I used to go to Huddle House when my feelings were hurt or like I was down because the ladies they were so kind.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like my mom's there. Like, hey, honey, you always get those names. What's the weirdest name y'all have ever been called at a restaurant?
Well, there's the obligatory sugar, yeah.
Sugar,
Yeah.
There's honey.
honey,
There's
Baby.
darling.
darling.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, guys. I get the warm fuzzies when I go in those places. and
I
that
know
way.
where you really like going when you want to feel good. Publix.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I like Publix because I walk in the door and they greet me like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They do. We're so glad you're here. Welcome to our store.
Are you saying Publix is the Chick-fil-A of
I am
grocery stores?
absolutely saying that.
Okay.
I am.
Hot take.
Do you believe it?
I think so.
I think so. And when you get kids, Steven, I want you to try this. I know you hate on Publix a little bit.
Well, I mean, I just think it's
but-
pretentious to say where shopping is a pleasure.
Okay.
Really? Really, it's a
I
pleasure
want
shop
you to
with
load up Gracie.
Uh-huh.
I want you to go into that store.
Right?
And I'm going to tell you what all that Gracie can have before she walks out of that store.
Okay.
All right? Because they love customer service. And I love that they love customer service. And before Gracie walks out of there, she can have either a chocolate chip or sugar cookie. And they'll offer you one too, Steven.
Wow.
This is for you. A balloon. A coloring sheet. By the way, I was standing in line the other day, and my kids, you've seen my kids, they were playing with all the candy at the aisle. And the two teenage girls that were working the aisle behind me saw that I'm struggling. You know what they did, Steven?
What?
Hey, kids, come over here. And they handed them crayons and sheets, and they put stickers on them. And you know what? I made it through the checkout line. And they made my life better.
Awesome.
Because they're Publix. Sorry, I went there. But yes, Go ahead and take Gracie and get the full treatment. Tell them, hey, give my kid the full treatment.
Yeah.
And they will greet you all the way through. If you want to find something, they'll take you to it. They don't tell you where it is. They take you to it. And then they'll say, anything else, sir? How you feel about Publix?
Well, we had two. we went in there the other day actually and had 2 bags of groceries, and not much at all. Just to, not even going shopping. We just went there last minute. The guy says, "Hey, can I take out your groceries for you?" Like,
right.
Well, I can just hold a bag in each hand.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, they get above and beyond for sure.
All the time. They are the Chick-fil-A of grocery stores. I said what I said. Stephen, make us laugh.
Okay, so I was wondering about this. Trevor, what year were you born, bud?
2001.
2001. Okay, all right. So I'm just trying to put all this together. So me and Seth might be able to understand this a little better than you can because we were both 80s, 90s, that kind of thing. So there are some things that kids today just do not get the opportunity to enjoy. Right?
Yes.
Tara Town is this girl over on TikTok, and she does all these things. If you didn't live in the 90s, well, you wouldn't know this. And it's amazing. It's like a nostalgia hit every time she does one of these. So let me
Trying
play
to give
one
me
of
the
them for
warm
you.
fuzzies.
Oh, it's good, man. It's so good. I'll let her explain what we're looking at, okay?
Things we did in the 90s that kids today will never experience. Back in the day, we used to watch movies on this rectangular contraption called the VHS tape. If the movie was long enough, then you'd have to watch it on 2 VHS tapes. Since Netflix didn't exist, then you'd have to go to Blockbuster to rent a VHS tape, or you just record your own movies off of the TV. But nothing beat opening up a brand new VHS tape. Feeling that crinkly plastic as you opened it and the smell was an instant serotonin boost.
Absolutely.
Oh, good stuff.
Okay, now y'all stream everything, but you never got to experience Movie Gallery and Blockbuster.
I actually did. Yeah,
you did. Okay, that was an enjoyable experience. Other than the fact that you're paying an astronomical amount of money, to rent a video, and it's for 5 days,
and you better get it back on time, because if not, you're gonna pay.
But Steven only needed 1 day, maybe 2.
I know, but
maybe
that's when you
2.
rent it and you lend it to a friend, and they get to watch it too.
Yeah,
as long as it gets back in time.
That was my only bone with him. But I liked all the movies being out, and you're like, it was a whole experience.
But when that movie that you wanted wasn't there, it's like you've been looking forward to it all week. It's like, oh, it's finally out.
Somebody shot my dog.
You get there and somebody's already got it. And
that's a sad story.
Yeah. Have you noticed Redbox is like gone away? Have you noticed any Redboxes?
I've not. No, those used to be everywhere.
I know. Like the Arab Walmart, it's not there anymore. They got like some kind of ATM thing there where it used to be.
Wow.
We always used to go to Walgreens here in Gunnersville. They had one.
Do they still have it, or is it gone?
I think it's gone.
Redbox. I will say for Redbox, they diversified and they stream. Because I still get text. Please, Redbox will send me. We'll give you this much off because you haven't been to our Redbox. Here we go. This is 2/7. Pick your next movie up. Get even more. $2 Tuesdays are back.
Goodness.
Just saying, that's happening today. Or it was the 6th if they still have a place. But $2 off used movies. Yeah.
Speaking of movies, saw a little reenactment of one of them, and I think it's going to be just what we need. I think it's going to put a smile on all of our faces. You ready for this?
Yes.
All right, let's take a look.
Here goes Forrest.
Yes. Forrest Gump.
Run home, Forrest. Run home.
Yes. I love that. That's an AstroTurf field right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yep.
He's still going.
Cool
I mean,
stuff.
he's committed to it.
Yeah.
Steven, we can meet him in Savannah after we load up the Oscar Mayer Wiener vehicle and go to the Bananas game.
Right.
Yeah.
We totally could.
I want to see a Savannah Banana game.
I've always wanted to.
I've got a really cool story about Savannah Bananas. It's kind of long. I'm waiting on Kandi. I'm not seeing her pop on quite yet, but this story is about 4 minutes long. But it's about this kid who wanted to be in the majors so bad. And he went to college, and then he kind of made it, and then COVID hit, and it's just a crazy roller coaster story.
Wow.
So, tell you what, I'll go ahead and hit that. Let's take a look at it. Now, he goes by Coach Rack now over on TikTok. He's really made a following for himself. You'll understand all of it. Here, take a listen. Watch this.
Last Thursday, I fulfilled my childhood dream in possibly the most unorthodox way in history. You see, at 8 years old, I started playing baseball, and like any other kid, my dream was to get signed to play pro baseball and play in front of millions of people. For a while, everything was on track. I was shorter growing up, but then I hit a growth spurt, and as a junior in high school, I was about 6 feet tall. But I was homeschooled, and I had one high school tell me, sorry, we won't let him try out. There's just no way he'd make the team. But I ended up going to Arrowhead Christian, hit some baseballs hard at the right time, and after a 2-homer game, I found myself at UC Riverside playing D1 baseball after having no offers my senior year. D1 baseball. I'm on track until I hit about 170 as a freshman and requested my release after 1 year. During that time, I thought, okay, maybe I'm not even good enough for college baseball. But nonetheless, I played summer ball in Casper, Wyoming and fell in love with the game again. So I transferred to Biola, a D2 school, because I liked the coach and I knew it'd be tougher getting signed out of a D2, but oh well, I was going to do it anyway. Sophomore year, I did okay, but nothing special, nothing that would get me drafted. So I still never heard a word from a scout. But then it happened. I hit 5 home runs in 10 games to start my junior year, and now I was talking to 4 separate MLB organizations. Your junior year is your best time to get signed, and things were looking good. But then COVID hit, and our season got canceled, and the draft got shortened from 40 rounds to 5 rounds, and I pulled both my hamstrings. So then it was my senior year, and it's hard to get signed as a senior, especially at a D2, but I trained like it was possible anyways, and sure enough, I hit 6 home runs through 9 games in my senior year, and managed to get intentionally walked 12 times in one series. I had a 3-homer game in front of 15 plus scouts. They were there to watch our pitcher, but nonetheless, I had a wild season, and yet still did not hear a single word from a scout. I thought maybe it's because I'm a senior, but draft day came, and I was certain that my name wouldn't be called. And it wasn't. Until after the draft, I got a phone call, and I ended up getting signed by the Nationals, and that's when I told my dad, recorded this video, didn't think anything of it. That video went mega viral, and I ended up getting 170,000 followers overnight on TikTok, and I was ABC World News Person of the Week. I had done it. I got signed to play professional baseball. Like I said, this story is a weird one, so it did not stop there. Immediately upon signing, I got COVID and had to sit out for a few weeks as all the other players got activated. Then I got the yips. I was so worried about what my coaches would think of me, and I was scared of getting cut and losing this amazing opportunity, and the rest of the year I played poorly. The next year at spring training, I came in with fresh eyes. I was ready. I wasn't going to play in fear. I started off hot, but then after only 2 weeks, I got cut and I had to drive my way all the way back across the country from Florida to California. At 23 years old, I gave up. I hung up the cleats. And I know what you're thinking. Why? You had a chance still. You could have made it. But just hear me out. I was older than most of the prospects, and every organization was downsizing. And I didn't want to spend all of my 20s grinding it out in the minor leagues or playing indie ball. And for those of you out there who have been through this, you get it. There was no path for me unless I spent years in the minor leagues. And even if I did well, nothing was guaranteed. 2 months went by, and to make a long story short, I decided to take the following that I had on social media and become Coach Rag. I posted videos of my best advice that I learned from my career, encouraging kids to not have their identity in baseball, but to play fearless. I posted every day and built a following of over 1 million ball players across platforms. I loved my new job, and I got to use all my other homeschool type skills of art, photography, and computers. And don't get me wrong, deep down, I still wanted to play in front of millions. I wanted to play pro baseball, but I was totally content where God had me, and honestly, lifestyle-wise, I enjoyed it more. That is until about a few months ago. My buddy, and also a content creator, Coach Murph, said, hey, there's a tryout for the Savannah Bananas in your area. You should go check it out. The Bananas then released their schedule and said they were going to play at Fenway and in front of over 1 million fans this year. First, I was like, nah, I'm done playing. It's been 2 years. I'm good. I prayed about it, and something came alive inside of me, and I decided to go to the tryout without training hardly at all, just to see what happens. And I crushed it. I kind of felt like I nailed it. I ended up landing a spot on the team, but since I hadn't played in years, the coaches said, well, you probably won't be a starter, but we'll see what we can do. So I get to spring training after not playing for a few years, not really knowing what to expect out of myself. For the first 2 weeks, I didn't even hit a single ball in batting practice over the fence. Then we got to spring training inter squads, and I managed to lead the team with 3 home runs. And out of nowhere, on last Thursday, I found myself starting in left field in front of a sold-out crowd that was 3 times bigger than any crowd I had ever played in front of in my entire life. And while I was there, it seemed like everyone knew my name. And beyond that, many knew my story. And as I signed countless autographs in the plaza, it dawned on me, this was all part of God's plan. I am now able to impact more people than I ever would have in the MLB through my content. And this year, I will play in front of 1 million people and fulfill that childhood dream. Now, I'm not scared to fail. Now, I'm not just trying to play good baseball for my own career, but I'm on a mission to be the most impactful voice in baseball. I have nothing to lose now. And now I know God is using me, something bigger than baseball, for the kingdom, for his glory. Jesus is the king of my life, not baseball, and it's better that way. And if you made it this far, thanks for the love and the highs and the lows. And as always, let's grow.
I love that.
I know, right? It's good stuff.
Wow.
Man. Yeah. Kandi, can you hear us? Can you see us? Not see us, but hear us.
Kandi.
There I am.
There she is.
Are. Very good.
Legend.
All right. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
I know you're busy. I know there's a lot of stuff going on. Thank you so much for making some time for us.
Going on. No, but we're good. Give me just 2. Okay, we're good.
When I saw you first pop up, I thought you were at the beach. You were playing around with that background. That was so cool.
That was from yesterday. I was like, yeah, let me get that off. I wish I was at the beach.
Right?
Yep.
Play a little Jimmy Buffett music for it.
Yeah, no, I'm not a Jimmy Buffett fan.
Not a parrot head, huh?
I'd be having the Beach Boys going.
Oh,
there it is. That's what I listened to on the way to the beach as a kid.
It'll help me, Rhonda. It's helped me, Kandi.
All right, we got 15 seconds before we hit this FCA moment of the week. I'll put you on a brief hold, and we'll be right back, Kandi.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
The FCA moment of the week.
And I'm so excited to welcome a celebrity here to the Varsity Radio Show, Trevor. She's a celebrity. She's a big deal. She should be the keynote speaker to every FCA event. Should be. She has a heart of gold. And she has done this show so many times. She's a celebrity. So we are so excited to have the one, the only, Kandi Armstrong.
How are you guys? Y'all are crazy. But hi, how are you?
I am fantastic.
Good.
I am so good because we get to be with you today, and it's never bad with you. It's even better when you pull the dog in, though. That's it.
Yeah, Milo's not here today.
Milo. But anyway, Kandi Armstrong, I know you're busy, but tell us what's going on in the wonderful world of Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Camp, and more camp.
Camp.
Yeah, we are full. We are in full swing camp mode right now, and we're actually there's some that's in camp planning now, so we're kind of corresponding back and forth, texting back and forth, boxing, emailing, creating, trying to get stuff ready for these campers this summer. Yes, it's a very good, sweet, special time, but it's very, very busy time as well.
Yeah. So, are you getting to speak in any of those events?
That's a big negative, and I don't want to.
But anyway,
I'm out on that.
Yeah. So the camp is coming up, and it's the biggest thing. It's probably the biggest thing y'all do, isn't it?
It's pretty big. And then Iron Bowl prayer breakfast. It's just crazy as far as a lot of traveling, a lot of things going into it, corresponding, working with schools, and that kind of thing. But yeah, we're getting ready for summer camp, and it's going to be cool this year. It's going to be good. But we have 4 different sports camps going on. We will be in Marshall County at the Sand Mountain Park, nice. June the 10th through the 14th. And then we will come back to Huntsville and have Madison County East at Whitesburg Baptist Church at the Rock. And that's going to be June 17th through 21. And then we will take a trip down to St. Simon's Island, Jekyll Island in Georgia, and that will be our Student Leadership Advance Camp. And that's basically where our interns, let me backtrack a minute. So we have boot camp that will be like for almost 2 weeks, and that's where we have high school juniors and seniors and college students come, and they train for almost 2 weeks, really being poured into and teaching them how to share their faith and whatnot. They will take those tools onto the campuses for the summer.
Nice.
So they will do the Marshall, Madison County East. Then those interns will in return go to Jekyll Island, and they will have a camp where they are poured into. So they become the campers, and they get everything that they've been pouring into the kids, ages 7 through 13 for.
Nice.
They will come back and then finish the camp with 2 additional sports camps, which will be at Coleman High School on July the 8th through the 12th, and then at Bob Jones High School, July the 15th through the 19th.
Wow.
Yes, and then we also have a power leadership training that we have, which is basically the last event that we have kicking off the new school year. And in those events, we train the students how to go onto their campus, be the light, share the word, that's where we establish and get our student leadership teams from and whatnot. So normally we have one PLT. This year we will have two. We are breaking it down to middle school 6th through 8th grade, high school 9th through 12th grade. The middle school will be held on the campus at Madison Academy here in Madison. And then we will have the power leadership training for the high school, which will be August the 2nd and 3rd. That will be at the Von Braun Civic Center. We will have a PLT party on Friday night. The students are going to be able to attend a private concert. This year it's going to be with Forrest Frank. He's got the #1 single, whatever you want to call it, out right now. It's called A Good Day, which is really, really good. Kids are loving it. Kids are so excited he's coming. Somebody different this year. We normally have Lecrae KB, and this is a new upcoming guy he's beating them out on the charts. So that's pretty cool. But the kids are excited. But yeah, just lots and lots and lots. We start boot camp. It's going to be the day after Memorial Day. We will not get finished until August 3rd.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah. So lots going on. Everything you can register, see all this information. I know it was fast. It was a lot of information, but you can go to our website, northalabamafca.org. All the registrations are on there. All the flyers is on there. You can see what's going on, what's been going on, what we have upcoming events. All of that good stuff is on our website.
So good. Kandi, you're amazing. You know what you need, Kandi? You know what you need?
What do I need?
Something else to do. You know?
That's a no. I keep saying you need to learn how to say no. So no.
Yeah.
I'm going to start today. No.
No.
It's good. I enjoy it. It's fun. It is a lot of work, and it's a lot that goes into it. And we have amazing area directors here that their vision is just amazing. It's just, they amaze me every day. But the kids in this area are so blessed to have an organization like FCA. The leadership that we have, like I said, with our area directors, that just, their vision is amazing. And the kids in this area are so blessed. If you want to know more about sports camp, if you need, there's scholarship forms that's on there. We will not say no to any campers. We have partners that come alongside us for camp that partner financially with us to allow us to be able to let all kids that want to come to sports camp be able to come.
So good.
So, and if somebody is interested in partnering with FCA, the partnership brochures are on the website as well. northalabamafca.org. But yeah, it's an amazing time for kids. Our interns, we love it. We have fun, and it is so cool to see all these kids come and eager to learn about Christ. But it's really rewarding when you can see these kids turn around and go onto their campuses come fall and really pouring into their peers.
Yeah.
They're going to listen to those students more than they're going to listen to us adults. And they are a gateway into the school. It's just amazing to witness.
So good.
It's amazing to witness. All the huddles on campuses are student-led.
Yeah.
We are there to provide ideas if they need them. But we have huddle game plans they prepare for. They get parents involved in bringing snacks and this, that, and the other. They do it all. We're just there for help and assistance if they need us. But they're killing it this year.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Kandi, you're killing it too, and we're very appreciative that you gave us your time.
Well, y'all are so welcome. Thank y'all for everything y'all do, and thanks for helping FCA just share the word of the gospel, and that's the whole deal. You know, FCA, it's a lot of times we joke behind here at the office and say we're flexible Christian athletics, but it is the fellowship of Christian athletics.
Yeah.
Because, we want the word of Christ to be shared. We want it on the campuses. Everybody is searching for something and they don't know what.
Yes.
And we believers know what the answer is.
So good. We have the answer. Thank you,
That's
Kandi.
what it's about.
Thank you for being so awesome. Thank you for your massive heart.
You're welcome. Thank y'all.
You have a great day, and thanks you for the
I'll
impact that you make on every campus in this area.
You're sweet. But we love you guys, and thanks for everything.
We love you. See you later, Miss Kandi.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Go ahead, Steven.
Did you know that you can develop ninja-like reflexes and skills by just preparing pizza? Did you know that?
I had no idea.
Yeah, just think about it. You have to get the dough out. You have to flatten the dough. Then you have to twirl the dough, pop it up in the air, and twirl it, make it wider and wider. Well, I came across this guy, and I don't think he's come up with the term for it yet. So I'm just going to call it pizza jitsu.
Pizza jitsu.
Yeah, pizza jitsu. Okay,
it's awesome.
And you want to see what that looks like?
Please.
It's amazing. Watch this.
Wow.
Watch him. Boom. Boom.
What a waste of crust, though. Like, I'm like sad on the inside.
Well, the critters will eat it, I guess.
The birds.
The birds
will eat it. That's hilarious. Where do you find this?
Pizza jitsu. It's good stuff, man. I found that on TikTok.
That's amazing.
I'll have another one for you next week.
Oh
yeah.
Pizza jitsu?
Pizza jitsu.
Love it. We're learning. We're learning. You got to be able to twirl the crust like such.
Now,
first.
if you really want to feel the power, though, you have to leave the restaurant and you have to go onto... You ever been to the drag strip before? Like the Good Times drag strip over in Bayleton?
No, but I need to.
Hold on one second. Trevor, have you been there?
Once or twice when I was younger. Yeah.
All right. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's fun.
Very good.
Changed his life.
So I wonder if you know what it feels like. I mean, you're in the stands, but could you imagine being down there with the cars, getting them ready to go, just before they go, feeling that power? I mean, the rumble. Exactly. Yeah. Watch this. I think this dude is living his dream. Watch this.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready for clutch?
Yeah, he made the best of that.
Here we go with some clutch.
The clutch moment.
And today we want to talk to you about making an impact on your community. And I'm going to start by asking Trevor a question. Me and him both live in this area. What do you feel, Trevor, are some of our biggest issues in this community?
Seth, the first one I thought about is kind of actually a part of the word, and I didn't think about this till I said it, but I think it's unity.
Yeah.
The last half of that word is community, and I think one of the biggest struggles everywhere in every community is unity.
Yeah.
Are we really a community if we aren't in unity? And so that was kind of my first thought, really.
Yeah. Steven, what kind of issues do you think we have in our community?
Oh, man, there's all kinds of stuff going on. A lot of people don't know that we've got a lot of food insecure people. I mean, it's people that they're trying to eat from day to day. Some of these kids, the only food they get is from their school.
Yeah. Man.
So, that kind of stuff's going on for sure. You've got addiction. You got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So many things that we could, you can get overwhelmed pretty quick just thinking, man, I wonder if I could change that or I could change that. And me and Steven, I don't know if you heard this Sunday morning, Marshall County Homeless Ministries lady said 42% are struggling with homelessness. I don't know if that's the right number. That's what I heard.
Oh, wow.
But that seems just people struggling in that area, struggling with different things. And so, but I want to say this, because I honestly believe it, Trevor. I believe we're part of the solution to things that go wrong in our community. Not everybody else's, but our community. And we must begin to own our community's welfare. And so I want to ask some questions to affect change. I believe this, a question that I think we always need to be asking ourselves, am I always listening for the pain in my community? And I want to say it like this. When I go out in public, I don't know if you've been this, you don't mean to eavesdrop, but you hear people say things. You hear certain situations where I'm dealing with this or I'm dealing with this. And I've noticed in my own community, in my own neighborhood, like when people say I'm dealing with something, I want to instantly pray for them. I want to instantly try to make the most of that situation. But one of the coolest things happened to me is when my first kid was born, Trevor, And I got in an elevator with a junior high boy. And this junior high boy, he just looked like he was really struggling. I said, hey, is there something are you doing okay? And he just starts like breaking down like, no, we just found out something bad happened to our dad. I said, can I pray for you? And he said, yeah. So I prayed for him. I look up, he's crying. We're in the elevator at Marshall North, And he comes out, and I'm like, hey, how cool was it that there's a junior high kid struggling with something happening to his dad, and God put a youth pastor in an elevator, and if I was 5 seconds earlier, I wouldn't have been there.
Right.
I think God did that.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I believe we're part of the community solution and responsible for our part. In Jeremiah 29, he says this, there is a question. Pray for the welfare of the nation you dwell in. This is while Israel's in captivity. Build houses. Settle in. Be a beneficial part of your community. Jeremiah's telling them, hey, I know you don't like where you're at. I know you don't like the situation I put you in, but you are still a representative of me, so you need to make the most of the experience. So, Trevor, my question is this. What are some ways we can listen for the pain around us?
The first thing I thought about, Seth, as you talked about that is, listening is part of it, but just looking. And, if you, seeing. We leave church, whatever, we can see it anywhere we go. I mean, we just talked about the grocery store. When you go to the grocery store, you can tell if that cashier is struggling. You can tell if the person at the drive-thru is struggling. Yeah. And I'll give you something else that I was thinking about is, as you sent me these questions too, don't just look, but also listen. And I think a part of listening is actively showing those people you care about what you're going through. And so somebody told me this one time. They said, normally when we go up to somebody, if we're going to be a part of their change, we need to show them that we care for them. And I think often as people, as you think about the grocery stores, you think about interactions you may have with people on a day-to-day basis. We're so busy that we may not even stop to have a conversation with them. And so what's your first thing? Hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm good. How are you? And then that's it. But not just saying, hey, how are you doing? But like re-emphasizing that. How are you really doing?
Let's talk.
Somebody told me that sometime. If you say it the second time, like, how are you really doing? I think that may open a door to for conversation. To be that ear.
It does. It makes a difference because people usually open up and then you have an opportunity.
Right.
And so the second question I think we need to ask ourselves is, how do we make the best of where God's placed us?
Yeah.
You may not like where you're at right now. You may not like your job amazingly, but I want to ask you this. What are some things we can do, Trevor, to make the best of the opportunities God's placed in our lives?
Seth, I'll just say this because I led our new members class Sunday at church, and part of what we did was a spiritual gifts test. And in that spiritual gifts test, I was seeking to answer for them the question of, hey, why do you need to know your gifts?
Yeah.
We need to know our purpose, and to know our purpose and to fulfill our purpose, we've got to know our gifts. And so I said this just to make it as simple as possible. Hey, we need to discover our gifts, develop our gifts, and so that we can give our gifts away.
Yeah.
And so I think part of making the best of where God has placed us is first we got to understand ourselves and how God has gifted us. And then once we know, hey, here's where God's placed me in the workplace, with my job, whatever. And now I know the gifts He's given me within that workplace, within that job, within that home. Well, now that I can see my job as more than just a job. Like now the places that God has me are not just a place, but they're a platform.
That's good.
That platform where we can make an eternal difference in their lives.
I like that. And the other suggestions, you're right. You need to know your giftings and your abilities, know how God built you different than somebody else. Something else we can do is we can be intercessors. In other words, pray for those around us. The neighborhood you live in, Trevor, is a gift.
Yeah.
Like, you are given a gift of those neighbors to make a difference. That's right. You can the grocery store, a place where you can be a difference. And then, are you a witness? Like, realize you're the voice of Jesus to your community. You're the difference. Then the third question you need to ask yourself is, do you use your opportunities to engage others for him. Like for me and you, we go to community events. We're part of those things. But are you an example of him in those moments? So how can we use our community involvements to benefit Christ?
I think we just said it, Seth, and I think it's that we need to see every encounter as an opportunity to make a difference.
Yeah.
And you hear this often, something that I've heard often in my life is, you may be the only Jesus some people ever see. And I think it's that. Not just when we go to youth on Wednesday nights or go to church on Sunday, but every day of our lives. Are we portraying the picture of Christ in our lives? Because that's what we're called to do. And so can people see Jesus in me and you? And I think that's how we can make a difference.
That's good.
In their lives.
And I want to say this. You are part of the solution out there. Don't it's somebody else's problem. No, it's your problem. Mm-hmm. If something breaks your heart, if something moves you, God, let that happen to your heart for a reason, because you're part of the solution. I want to pray for you that you would operate in that right now. God, we thank you for this moment. God, we thank you that you created us all different, that you gave us all purpose. God, help us to make a difference. Help us to be part of the solution to the issues in our community. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. You've never heard that song by that guy she mentioned? Have y'all heard it?
No.
On the radio?
Who is it?
We're going to play it here in a few minutes.
Good Day. It's really good. Yeah. Makes me want to have a good day.
Mm-hmm. Forrest Frank.
Gonna have a good day. Steven probably knows.
Mm-hmm.
Really well.
You do too. You just don't know it. You sent me a video with it in it.
Oh, did I?
Uh-huh.
It's all over the radio.
It's awesome. Did Coach just come in?
Coach is here.
Oh, good.
He's in there having a bite. Well,
I told him to text me. He didn't. So I was turned looking at Trevor, and I saw Steven leave, and I'm like, good.
Yep. I had a feeling he was on his way, and sure enough, as soon as I got out there he was.
Steven, look at you.
You know?
You're a boss. So, Steven.
Yep.
Will you entertain us?
I can totally entertain us.
Please, sir.
All right, good. Well, I mean, one of those things I know you love.
Love.
And I love.
Love.
And I think maybe we might just get Trevor to love it too.
Love.
That is, that's a Mr.
Rockstar!
Rockstar! Exactly right. Yes, good stuff.
My favorite.
So, you want to see one of them?
Yes,
now, I want you to pay attention to the two attitudes portrayed in these two dogs and see which one you like better.
I don't think anybody nails animal personalities better than him.
Right. So here we go. Let's take a look at this one. It's so good.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Mm-mm.
You want to go for a ride?
I want to go outside.
You want to go outside?
Didn't you hear it come out my mouth?
Excuse you?
Oh, you can't hear. Outside!
Oh!
Yeah. You heard me? Outside.
No need to yell.
Then take me out.
Okay.
Get up.
No need to yell.
Not yelling, that's crap.
Stop cussing. Stop it.
No.
Stop.
No.
Stop.
I'm not.
Stop.
Stop. You stop.
You finna get a whooping.
By who? You can't even whip up enough energy to take me outside.
Don't you even think about eating my flowers.
What?
I didn't even plant them yet.
Who are you talking to? I know you ain't talking to me. You ain't talking to me. I'm a grown dog. I can do what I want to do. If I want to eat these flowers, I eat all your flowers up. Watch me eat them up.
You little.
I eat all your flowers up this year.
I'm not playing with you this year. You're not eating my flowers again.
Every year you complain about these flowers, man.
Stop looking at me with that little look.
Okay.
You're not.
I tell you what. Let me help you out a little bit.
Richard!
What? I helped you out. Now your little flowers can grow.
So which one did you like best?
The second one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, the second one.
Yeah.
That was funny.
That's a cool little
Let me help your flowers grow. That was great.
They'll do that too.
They will.
As much as possible.
That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that very much.
Right?
Thank you, Steven.
Oh, you're welcome.
Who is this massive 6'3", 280-pound 12-year-old? This is Dane Levi, and I hate to break it to you, but he's actually not 12. And this was just a skit recreating this iconic scene from Benchwarmer.
This guy's 50. He's got a mustache.
Not according to birth certificate.
He's got documentation.
See, it all started when we were doing a photo shoot, and we came up with a funny idea involving the youth games that were going down at the stadium. The kids were absolutely loving it, and they actually thought he was going to go in. When we handed the note to the referee, he had no idea what we were doing, and his reaction was priceless.
All right. Gino, I have a birth certificate that says he's 12.
That's pretty good.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
I found that. I thought that's funny.
Yeah.
He said, "I am," with a question mark. Here's money. The verse. Can you imagine if he got on the field, the terror of those kids? Like, we're all gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
Gave me the warm fuzzies. I saw a new sport.
You did.
And
I think it's German. Something weird's going on.
It is, but it's hilarious to hear the German. Yeah,
it really is.
I just want your input on this. Would you try this sport,
Here we go.
Steven?
Es geht über den Lauf. Es geht über. Da ist er. Es geht über Ayrton. Kleines, dickes Ayrton mit dem Touchdown für den Norden. Da wird der unter der Pfanne verrückt. Da ist der Kerl. Da ist er. Ayrton, der Kugelblitz. Wahnsinn.
How painful would it be to be tackled?
Right?
Though.
Yeah.
I mean, that just hit me. How painful would it be to be tackled?
I mean, because they're not wearing ice skates, but it looks like they're actually running on the ice.
Yeah.
That looks
you're
like
right.
an ice rink.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's lined off for football. It's the weirdest thing.
I wonder how long it takes to do that. Probably not bad.
And all I can see Arnold Schwarzenegger calling the game because it's a German accent. You know? I know this from
they're very
Austria.
passionate. Whatever they're saying.
Very much so.
Whatever they're saying, Trevor, it's very passionate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, since we're on this sports thing, I think maybe we need to see a little bit of some volleyball. Now this is here, just take a look.
Oh! Look at her face! Is she crying?
A little replay.
Is that a laugh or a cry?
It's a laugh. She's fine.
I would be crying.
Right?
There would be no laughing.
That's nuts.
Everybody on the other team was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, we did that. Like, jeez.
That's crazy.
That poor girl.
And since we're talking about sports, I mean, you ever got the wild hair? You ever got the notion just to go ahead and, play with the sports equipment at the local store? Like, say you're in Walmart, the sports section.
Yes.
They got the balls, they got the bats, they got the gloves, all that stuff.
I've always wanted to jump in the ball thing.
Right? Yeah. Or, those big plush animals, they got like a big box of them. You just want to bury yourself up in there.
That.
Yeah. Well, here, I don't know how these guys didn't get in trouble.
How long does it take for security to get to a certain area at the store? Oh.
Yeah, don't try that at your local Walmart.
There's security cameras.
Yeah.
I've legit seen people jump in those ball things, though.
Oh, yeah.
Steven.
Uh-huh.
I've seen
security chase people after they left the store with a stolen item before, too.
Really?
It was crazy. Last time I saw it was at the Arab Walmart. This dude he ran so fast across the parking lot all the way up to Arab Heritage Funeral Home. And he was running past there. It's like dude had an endless charge or something.
What did he steal?
I have no idea, but it was bad enough he decided to run.
If it was like a pack of sour straws, I mean, let the boy go. Like, bless his heart. We just need to know. Mm-hmm. Like, I need to know. Right? Why don't you show me the thing with the song that you were talking about?
Oh, you want to see that one?
Yeah.
Okay, it's whenever you have a bad day, you need to sit down and get a little bit of a...
Yes!
Oh, yeah, here, take a look.
Oh, yeah, I love this. I thought this was awesome. Is that him?
I believe
so. Like the real guy?
I think that's Forrest.
Yeah.
Take a seat.
I think this is awesome.
Check.
I found this. I just didn't know it was that. Get it. Trevor, you got any special skills?
I don't. I was about to ask you if you could do that.
In my dreams.
I'm about to have a good day. No matter what they say.
Like it.
Sun is shining down on me. Birds are singing praise. single way.
Love it.
The God who made the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day.
I needed that. Thank you, bro.
I like that.
It's good, ain't it?
I saw that the other day, and I sent it to Steven. I'm like, that just made me feel good. Steven, it made me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we can bring the coach in and make him laugh? A little bit. Trevor.
What's up?
I got one when he gets back, though, that's hilarious. A video. A few. When youth group games go wrong. You got to trust fall.
Oh, good. There's an Instagram. I don't know what it's called. Youth Group Chronicles or something.
Yes.
Have you ever seen that?
Hilarious.
Yes, that's
hilarious.
Awesome.
Hilarious. The legend has arrived. I'm glad we're in the presence of greatness. Where you want him, Steven?
Wherever he wants to sit.
Anywhere you want to sit?
Right here.
Yeah.
That's good.
Welcome.
Glad to be here.
This is like the third show, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
He's a legend. We need a legend wall, Steven, for those who make it past 3 times. So, you survived 3 times. You should.
That's it. That's it.
So, I don't know if we did this last time you go, but we like to make you laugh before you actually go on the show. So,
right.
We pull videos all week because it's who we do, who we are. And I don't know if any of you, Steven, have been on ever had a symptom in life, like a sickness.
Oh yeah.
And then you make the smart decision to Google
Yeah.
that symptom.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
And it looks something like this.
Sure does.
Steven, when you
Good. My time has come.
Yeah.
my time has come.
Time has come.
You immediately find out that you're dead.
Yeah.
And things are. Have you ever been in that situation?
Oh, I don't do it. I've got mother-in-laws and older people that do it, and I see how they act, so I refuse to do it. I don't want to find out.
Yeah. So my wife is the worst. So she'll like Google it and like, oh my gosh, this is gonna. I told you. You can find anything on the internet.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
I think that's why they do the doctor's offices like they do. They put you in the little rooms.
Yeah.
So when you tell them what it is, they go back and Google it. And then they come back and tell you what's
That's
wrong
right.
with it.
And charge you for it.
And charge you for
And
it.
you're mildly terrified at the moment.
Yeah.
So, and then, did you go? You went to college, didn't you, Coach?
Yes.
Yeah. Funny things happen at college, Steven.
Mm-hmm.
People just act fools.
They do.
In college. And,
They really do.
But there's funny things.
Uh-huh.
That's good.
My question is where they got the chick and why does it
Yeah.
fall?
Yeah.
And then every college has a mascot, Steven.
Mm-hmm.
And mascots are hilarious.
Right.
They had. I don't know if you remember back in the day in minor league baseball, they had the famous chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever get to see the famous chicken? So when the Huntsville Stars played, my parents took me to see the famous chicken, and it was hilarious. And so, but mascots, they just add value.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey man, this
Checking to see if it's a diamond. And I think you can tell.
This is hilarious.
From the look on her face. It's not real.
Not a real diamond.
Oh, no.
Cubic zirconia. She says,
this is hilarious. that didn't go well.
especially now, you can see what happened.
Yeah, that was not good. It's a bad day. Somebody really thought that one through. Me and Steven saw this one, though.
They just keep getting bigger and bigger.
Good Lord.
There we go. Go big or go
Let
home.
me show you my love for you. It's great. I love that.
That's cool.
So I enjoy mascots, and then I don't know if you've ever watched the Savannah Bananas.
Oh yeah, well I was down there. I didn't even know about them. We went down a couple of last fall, I think. We went down to stay in Savannah for a little bit, and I kept hearing people talk about them. It was so huge, and then I started, watching them some, and it just blew my mind when I saw it. But it's so big down there. Those guys it's unbelievable.
I know, right? It's like they stay packed all the time.
Yep.
And if you want to get in to watch a game, forget about it. It's going to be a few months out. But hey, I wonder, sometimes I have to watch sports on my phone because I might not have a certain network on cable, right? So sometimes I'll get on like YouTube and I'll try to check out the game there, like when it's blacked out, like a Bama game or something like that. But I wonder, Coach, did you have any problems with your phone last week?
Oh, I didn't, and I have AT&T, but
Okay.
now some of the people at school did. I don't know why mine didn't. My phone may be so old it may not.
It's working just fine.
Do you know what kind of thoughts were running through people's heads while
I
that
know.
outage was happening?
I know what I thought.
Well, here's a guy. Take a look at
I
this.
mean, if they ain't gonna use it no more, you think they let me put a tree stand in there? That would AT&T stand for.
That's awesome.
Ain't talking or texting. Just gonna make sure they hadn't shut down the Waffle House yet, because if that goes down, we're doomed. How am I supposed to find out if Nick Saban unretires? SOS me. No, Mama, you didn't break your phone. Anybody check with C-Spire customers? Make sure they're both okay? You're right. This never happened with Bell South. You telling me that Cricket Wireless is down too?
Bell South.
I tell you what, I'm gonna start my own service called Cicada Wireless. We all just go outside and scream at each other.
Matt Mitchell's hilarious.
He is so funny.
Yeah.
He is so
I think
funny.
they might have put a tree stand up there. I love that.
Good Lord.
Oh,
can you
my goodness.
imagine getting up to that tree stand?
Yeah.
There's a Gunnersville, the athletic director at Gunnersville. He posted pictures. For some reason, he had to get up on the lights at the baseball field.
Right.
Yeah. He's like, I didn't realize this is high up here, 70 feet up.
Yeah.
He said, this is terrifying. So, have you ever had to do the lights? Well, you do basketball.
I do basketball. I learned a long time ago. I'm doing my stuff indoors.
That's right. Not playing the field lights.
Coach Cahill used to be my neighbor. He probably.
So you saw that picture.
He probably was loving doing that. To be quite honest.
Yeah. I don't ever want to go 70 feet up in the air,
neither.
swaying in the wind.
No, I don't like heights.
Not like that.
No.
I don't know if y'all have ever seen the ladders on those things, but they're terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine having to climb that?
And there's osprey up there in them.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
So one of the coolest things I think about being indoors, especially in a basketball court, is lots of times you guys have really good sound equipment in there, and you get some music going.
Right.
Yeah, get everybody in a mood, get them ready to play.
Sounds awesome.
I wonder, what kind of music do you like to listen to, Coach?
Well, actually, I like both kinds, country and western.
Okay.
But no, I'm just kidding. I
was like, I'll just go with it.
Country and western.
Now, about anything. I grew up in music, and we
He plays drums.
Yeah, we actually had a couple years ago when Mr. Bailey was there as our band director, started a stage band and that kind of thing, and it's kind of grown, and that's what we have for our games now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Nice.
I like about any kind of music though.
A little pep band. Put a little pep
music.
in your step, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I wonder if it would make you feel anything like this right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I want to see dogs do this. So many videos.
That's what I did after we played Susan Moore the last time, and it was finally over this year.
I want to hear about that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to dig into that topic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why do dogs do that?
I don't know.
I've seen like video after video
They're
of
just
them
happy.
doing that.
They're
like,
happy. They probably do it for the attention too.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
How long do we have, Steven?
We got about 1:10.
1:10.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm trying to see if we didn't play any of those. Oh, speaking of pep bands, can you imagine like basketball? I remember when I was a kid, I grew up in the Jordan era.
Right.
So, and I love to stand outside, just playing basketball, just shooting.
Right.
Can you imagine being a high school kid and just, you know what I'm talking about, Steven?
I do. Keep
crowd.
going.
Yeah. My bro was just shooting around, and then a random, this would be amazing.
That's awesome.
That would be awesome. That would be
cool.
awesome.
Yes.
I think, yeah.
Roadside pep band. That's cool.
I mean, I think that's phenomenal. Have you seen where, like, they're training and then, like, somebody's just running and then there's a band chases them playing Rocky music?
Oh, no. That's good, too, though.
It's fantastic.
All right, y'all ready?
Yep.
All right, let's do this. Coming up here in about 2 seconds.
So excited to be here with a legend of the show. I say legend. I always enjoy it when he's here. He's really been such a benefit. He's a benefit to our community. He's been a college coach and a high school coach. He's the one, the only, Tony Mabrey. How are you?
Man, I'm great. I appreciate you having me here today. Love coming to this show.
Man, we've loved having you. I think this is his third time.
Oh, wow.
And he's a legend. And I thought, he can give us some perspective into what's going on right now because Final Four is happening.
Right.
And then Guntersville and DAR are both going, which is a big deal. And I want to hear his perspective because he's played in the big games. He's with the college, and also now he's in high school. So, Coach Mabrey, when did you know, hey, I want to be a basketball coach? When did this come in?
I'll be honest, I have never really thought about doing anything else. And it goes back to, I started playing basketball for my dad when I was in 2nd grade.
Oh, wow.
And played and have been involved in some form of basketball ever since. And I just, the coaches that I had at Albertville High School were such an influence on me as far as I saw how they operated around each other, their camaraderie, the friendships they had, what they did for kids, what they did for me.
Yeah.
And that's all I ever wanted to do. And God has given me the opportunity to do that. So that's it in a nutshell. And not just kids that play sports, but kids at the schools. At this day and time, they need it. And I love it every day now as much or more than I ever have. Wow. I see teachers a lot of times counting the days down, and I think, why? There's a need.
We get to do this.
Yes, absolutely. I asked my kids just a couple of weeks ago. I said, who's the smartest teacher in this school? And they started naming some, math teachers and some English teachers. And I said, no, it's me. I get paid the same thing, and I wear gym clothes to school every day.
Yes, sir.
And open the gym and close it.
That's
and they
genius.
said, that's a good point, Coach.
That's genius. That's right. That's a good,
I've never thought about doing anything else. And if I had to do anything else, I'd probably be homeless right now because I can't fix cars. I don't know how to do anything else.
I'm with you. My wife informs me all the time that I'm not the fix-it person.
Right.
But,
I sold my mom and dad's house after my mom had passed away. My dad had a while, and I fixed it up. Years ago, I had fixed a bathroom, and I forgot about this. And when I got ready to sell the house, I walked in this little bathroom, and the handle flushed up. I don't know how I did it, but it flushed up. You had to mash it up to flush it. And I knew right then, I'm out of my league right here.
I have so many questions right now that don't pertain to basketball. Well, let me ask you this. Who were the basketball Jordans of your time, the people that you really enjoyed watching and strive to be like?
Well, all of the guys in that era, I loved watching them. Timmy Floyd actually went and coached the Bulls. It was a friend of mine that coached over in Mississippi for a while. But anyway, I loved the Celtics back then. I loved to watch Bird play.
Larry Bird.
So many. The basketball has changed so much. It's so there's no post play anymore. You're a 7-footer that faces the basket. You're up and down the floor and you're shooting, and it's just not the same to me. Now I know a lot of people enjoy it and that kind of thing, but back in the day, there was so much team play, so much ball movement. The Celtics had the big post players that could pass to each other, and just the dadgum toughness.
Yeah.
I mean, it was war every time they went out.
Yeah.
But I was one of those players almost every day in my backyard. That's what was cool. And I had the opportunity to. I guess my favorite player that I really liked and tried to emulate as much as I could was Pistol Pete, with Pete Maravich.
Yeah,
and,
Pete Maverick.
As a matter of fact, I'll tell you a story. I had a couple of weeks ago, Jonathan Bright played for me at Albertville, and they had a little camp over here at Sure Shots, and I was looking at it, and it was a guy there named Stan Petkavage.
Yeah.
And Stan Petkavage was a great player for Auburn and went on and played for the Clippers from Winter Haven, Florida. But I was about 9, 10 years old, 11 years old maybe, and was over at the Albert Rec Center. I'd go over there. I could walk from my house every morning. I was over there just shooting by myself. Well, this guy comes in, this big 6'5" guy.
Yeah.
And he starts asking me, and I'm telling him I love basketball and that kind of thing. Well, it was Stampet Cabbage. His grandmother lived in Albertville.
Wow.
So he taught me the Mabrey drills. That 2 weeks he was here, he taught me all the ball handling drills, the Mabrey drills.
Wow.
And so when I came out of high school, he started calling me, helping Auburn recruit me.
Wow.
And so when I saw that with Jonathan the other day, I told him to ask him if he remembered me, and he called me the next day. We talked for probably an hour and 15 minutes. He would come down and play in the summer league. I went straight out of high school, straight to UAB, and started playing in the summer league. It wasn't real organized. They called it the summer league back then, but you played in Old Bell Gym. But it was Mule King and T.R. Dunn and Ra Scott and Pet Cabbage and then this one little skinny white kid that got in the game every now and then, which was me. But it was all those guys, all the SEC guys that were Birmingham guys back then. And great experience to get to go in and play against those guys every day.
Wow.
That's when I learned I couldn't guard a ball in a chair. But that was, there's been so many. I grew up watching the Celtics and of course, I used to love to watch the LA games and the East and the West games.
Yeah.
And in the finals. So some great players, and there still are. And the game's changed a lot.
Yeah.
Tony, given the game the way the game has changed, the way we've just talked about it. Whether you look at Alabama, Auburn, whatever, college basketball, NBA, even high school now, it's becoming all like layups and threes. Just maybe give us some insight into these teams we've got. Going to the Final Four now. You got Scottsboro, you got Gunnersville, you've got DAR. All these teams. Just kind of give us a outlook, a look in depth into how the game has changed, and maybe how as coaches. Because we don't really see how all that works behind the scenes, but maybe how that changes the way you look at the game these days.
It's become a more there's so many good coaches out here now. You have to be prepared, and Gunnersville Coach Self does is one of the best. My wife hired him, as a matter of fact. But
good move.
He was he prepares kids as well as any coach I've seen.
Yeah.
As well as Coach Jonas does too. They will be prepared to play. Both of them are playing very athletic teams, but defensively, if you get to watch them tonight or whatever, I think we're going down tomorrow night. But you'll see them be very, very prepared. They will both probably have to. It's more of a dribble drive. It's more of a 3-point shooting game.
Yeah.
Obviously, with Alabama and Auburn, both it is. It's just NASCAR. It's so fast. The percentages are what they play on. The only thing is I still go back to I'm waiting for teams to come around and start playing post play like they used to again, inside out, ball movement and that kind of thing. It's just I remember when it was nothing to score in the 80s and 90s in high school, and you rarely see it anymore. It's 60s and 50s and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of really personnel. I mean, what you have and what's your best chance to win with is if you got shooters. If you in high school, I've told you this phrase before. It's like the difference when they asked me between high school and college is in college I could recruit. In high school, it's kind of like when you have an ugly baby, it's yours. You stuck with it. So you just got to prepare for that.
Yeah.
How hard? Okay. You've been in the game a long time. How what does it look like developmentally from an athlete 20 years ago versus now? Like, is it harder to motivate a kid to play or to play at a high level? I mean, what's the major difference between an athlete 20 years ago and today?
There's no doubt. There's several things. Outside influence is major. I mean, y'all know that as well as I do.
Yes.
It's not as big a deal to kids now as it used to, and you can't trick them into it. You get and it's also they're bigger, faster.
Yeah.
Nutrition's better, training's better. I remember the first day at practice, Coach Bartow, we were stretching, and Coach Bartow looked at me, and all those guys were touching the floor, and I could barely get to my knees. I never stretched in my life.
Yeah.
We didn't do that, and he told me, he said, "Son, you better stretch after practice too." But but just things, the training, what they have to be better athletes and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then the thing that I don't see as much as that used to be there is the team, is the motivation, is the, you know, see it now with the college athletics, with the portal and with the money.
Yes.
There's no loyalty. There's no.
It seems frustrating to me.
It is. It's all the things you teach. Adversity. Well, you don't have adversity anymore. If you do, you leave.
Yes.
You know. So the things you have to overcome. It's way too much more of a business to me. It's even, you know, the NIL stuff's getting into high school now.
Yeah.
You know, kid over in Calhoun or over in Georgia, a sophomore. Everybody's after Juju or whatever his name is, the quarterback.
Football.
He's already got a deal. You know, and he's a sophomore.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think we're missing a lot there, and you know, the things that athletics teach, you can still get them there, but it's more of a. I do a lot of things coaching wise that I wouldn't have done 20 years ago. To please, to help. You know, you have to. There's so many things that I'll tell you a story. This is funny. You know, Coach Garner, that was our football coach.
Yeah,
love Coach Garner.
He was my coach.
He came. His first year there was my second year there. So he comes up to me in the lobby one day, and you had a hard time getting kids out. You know, numbers and that kind of stuff at Brindlee. So he comes up and he brings two football players, and he says, "Coach, can you talk to these kids and tell them about what's important? They're not coming to practice like they're supposed to." And I told him, I said. This is a Coach Mabrey and a Coach Johnny Pelham story here, but anyway, I said, guys, it's like you got the cart out there. You know, we got to have somebody pulling that cart in the right direction. I don't care if it's 1 leader, if it's 5 leaders, if it's 10, or the rest of you got to at least be in the cart going with us in the same direction. But if you hang your feet off the back of that cart and you drag and slow us down, we're going to push you off. Yeah. So I felt pretty good about the speech, and I left. And a little while, I ran into Coach Garner out toward the field house. He said, "Hey." He said, "Don't tell that story no more." I said, "Why?" He said, "They both quit." So, you know, it's easy to quit nowadays. It's easy not to stick things out these days. But it's at the same time, I don't want to take away from our kids in that they are, you know, the good kids. We just have to get them in a roundabout way, and it's you can't old school these kids anymore.
Yeah, it's a generational thing.
It is.
Yeah.
So much of the focus is on developing the player, but like as a coach these days, the way things have changed the past 20 years, how do you develop not just the player but the person? Because that's become a lot harder.
I'll be honest with you, that's more important to me now. Is because if you approach it from that standpoint of teaching life lessons and that kind of thing, the rest of it will take care of itself if they're the right kind of kids, and sometimes it does even down the road if it doesn't hit them then. So. I know it's my age. I spend more time nowadays just stopping and talking to kids in the halls and you know, just, you know, what you gonna do when you leave here, that kind of thing, and just and maybe trying to give them. There's so many kids out there nowadays it was amazing to me when I first got there to ask a kid, "Hey, what you gonna do this weekend?" Well, me and my mom and papa, me and my grandmother, are being raised by not their biological parents. Yes. So we're in a position to kind of fill that void somewhat. Yes. You know, it's that, and once if they've got that instilled in them, then the part about working hard for something or the parts we're talking about are missing sometimes, they're going to come together. You know, that's the best way to reach them. It's not, by golly, if you don't do this, I'm going to run your butt off.
Right.
You know, it'd be like them boys in the cart. You know, they're going to see you. So,
which 20 years ago that would have worked very well.
Yeah, it did. It did.
That would have been very motivating.
Oh yeah.
And I remember those, you know,
the
speeches, but it was motivating, but like you said, man, I hate what NIL's done.
Yes.
I don't like the pay to play thing.
No.
I like the school spirit. That's what I was in
exactly.
for. You know, I don't know, and the loyalty and
and
you don't have that anymore.
No. It's an eye thing, and you know, you see. I'm watching the NCAA basketball tournament, and there's guys playing that's been to 4 to 5 different teams.
Mm-hmm. Wow!
I mean, and then on the flip side of that, what do you do if you're 19 years old and you're a 4-star, and your mom calls you and says, "Hey, you're not starting ahead of this guy right here. So your mom calls and say, hey, so-and-so just contacted us, and they've got you a $1.2 million deal, and they're going to guarantee you start at so-and-so university. You're going to hear the tires squalling.
Yeah.
And what do you...
No reason to stay.
You're right. And they're going to have to, in my opinion, they're going to have to come up with some kind of cap. They're going to have to come up with some time of number of transfers.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll ever get back to... And I missed something. We were talking about this the other day. I missed from where I was seeing kids that got denied being able to transfer because of this or that, till all of a sudden it's the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
You know, it's just you get in and you go. I don't know, but that they're going to have to come up with something. You know,
rules, solid rules.
I am for paying those kids because of what they raise for the universities.
Yes.
But there's got to be some kind of rules or something to it.
For instance, you got Archie Manning at Texas making $3 million without ever starting.
Right.
Without even snapping the ball.
Oh, some of them. Some of them are going to take a pay cut to go to the NFL.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
You're right.
It's crazy.
You're right. But anyway, so now that we went on that tangent, you were talking about Susan Moore. Tell us that story.
I told the coach there, they've had some great teams. Our area has really been tough for us for the past 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
With Susan Moore and Vinemont and J.B. Pennington. We've been very competitive. But Susan Moore, if we played them 100 times, they'd beat us 200, you know?
Yeah.
So, anyway, great relationship with them. And we're changing areas this year. And if it goes like volleyball, which most of the time it does, they've already had theirs, it will go into area with there's a new school over in Huntsville that's it's a school for engineers, actually.
Yeah.
Asbury and Whitesburg Christian, which will be totally different from that area.
Yeah.
So hopefully, and we're very young, got a good group coming up, very young. So, but Susan Moore is just, you know, the day before we played them in the area tournament, we played gotcha.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we that's what we did for practice. We played gotcha because but it's been great to play teams at that caliber, just to see, you know, how we are and see where we want to get to.
Yeah.
But man, just I told them, I said, we'll come over there and play y'all and give you everything we got. And they got beat by Plainview's girls. Now the game's coming up. Y'all were talking about earlier. I'm really looking forward to. I think DAR's playing their best basketball right now, which is what needs to happen. Guntersville and Scottsboro were so equal. I didn't know how that game was going to come out. Oh, let me bring this up too. My wife mentioned this last night. Brandon Fusell.
Yeah,
y'all seen that story?
That.
Crazy.
Man, that's
50 points at Montevallo.
That tied the record. He was 12.
Did you play with him?
No.
He was 12 for 12 at the free throw line. Shot 69%.
That's crazy.
And some people are saying he may be the best point guard in the state of Alabama. But that's great. And I'd like to mention this too. My wife wanted me to. Roseanne, since she moved into the central office as a director, she never gave up her career tech stuff. That's always been her big thing.
Yeah.
So they've been redoing the old Carlisle Park School into a workforce center. And it's also tied into what they're doing out by the tech school with Sneed State with the technical stuff.
That's awesome.
So what they're going to be able to do is bring kids in, and they're teaching manufacturing, they're teaching all these things, and the kids can go in and intern their senior year, and they'll go straight into jobs in Marshall County.
That's phenomenal.
But the other reason I'm bringing that up is the fact that Coach Bashaw, who's been the track coach forever,
legend.
And as a matter of fact, I'll give him a shout out because
Chris Bashaw.
Joe Cagle, Coach Cagle's my JV coach, and he's also the track coach now at Brindlee, and they're coming over today to work with Guntersville because their track's in better shape than ours and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Coach Bashaw's working with our kids, and Roseanne was able to hire him full time. You know, he's always done it as a volunteer coach.
Yeah.
But she was able to hire him to teach manufacturing. That was his background at the new workworkforce center, and that's
I have
been
noticed
great.
him over there. Yeah.
So that's been a great deal for him and for the school system.
Wow. Yeah, because he is a very good coach.
Yes, absolutely.
He is
absolutely.
He's created a whole culture.
Yes.
But man, that's tremendous. What are some of the games and things that talk about tonight? Well, the next 2 days. Talk about this final tournament. what kind of pressure are the coaches under, the players? Like, what kind of things? How do you prepare for a game like this?
I think first of all, if you've had, you're already prepared.
Yeah.
They're going.
If you made it this far,
you're going to scheme and you're going to do some things in practice. But as far as try to keep it. I would try to keep it as normal as you can. Each day as normal as you can. And it's amazing to me. I'm sitting watching Spring Garden girls play. I'm watching them because Dana Austin and Ricky, that's her husband, that are the coaches. Dana played for me at Jacksonville State, and that's their daughter that's so good, the Austin girl. I think she's committed to Alabama, not a senior, but is a player. But anyway, I'm watching them, and so this team, Elba, makes it to the Final Four. Mm-hmm. At halftime, Spring Garden's winning 41-0.
Oh my gosh!
In the third quarter, it's 49-3. And I quit watching it. So a lot of the
they didn't move much, but it was intense.
A lot of the Birmingham, the people that get to Birmingham, it's luck. It's the luck of the draw. It's who gets upset. I use this as an example a lot, but it's Jacksonville State. In 1985, we won the Division II national championship.
Wow!
So we go to play out at Cape Girardeau, Missouri, Southeast Missouri, in the Final Eight.
And middle of nowhere.
We in the middle of nowhere, and we go through and never lead in the game until the last shot.
Yeah.
We get to the free throw line. They get to the free throw line, and we're down 1 with the guy that's leading the nation in free throw shooting at 90-something%. Mm. Well, my old roommate had to go in the game. He didn't play a lot, but he had to go in the game because we had some people fouled out. So he's talking smack to this guy.
Wow.
He missed both free throws. The guy, Melvin Allen, y'all may know Melvin from Huntsville. He's worked with boys clubs forever, was a great basketball player. He coaches at Whitesburg Christian now. Anyway, he gets a rebound, kicks it out, comes down, and the first lead we got, he took a jumper from where the hash mark used to be.
Wow.
And hits it. So we win. Well, we go, the next game we're going to play, should be playing Virginia Union, who is the number 1 team in the nation, and their center's Charles Oakley.
Wow.
Charles Oakley's big as this building. And we're playing 6'6" posts, that are athletes. Keith McKellar, that played for the Buffalo Bills, was their starting tight end all the years they went to the Super Bowls. He was our starting center. Played 4 years of basketball and football.
That's a big dude.
So, but Charles Oakley's 7 foot, about 260, 270.
Wow. They
get upset. So we don't have to play them. We go play Cal State Bakersfield, who we match up with, and beat them. But that's kind of how it has to happen. It's a lot of skill, but there's some luck in there too on how it falls out, who you play.
Is there a lot of he was a player recently. You're a coach. Is there a lot of how do you game film that stuff? Do you
you try to match up, and in basketball is all game matchups. I mean you look at I never was it, and I've never been set in my ways as far as man to man or zone or whatever. I will beg, boy, or steal something in a heartbeat. I put in a crazy zone at halftime that we haven't even practiced. I may go in and say, hey, take her man. Rest of you play zone.
Yeah.
The only rule is you don't guard who's being guarded. So if say you're in the back of the zone and we're taking this girl out of the game, you just stay at home. If it's somebody being guarded. So there's all kind of things, and you see a lot of that stuff. We played against Gunnersville 2 or 3 years ago with Vandergrift. Mm-hmm. And so, we know we played them first round of the county tournament, and we know that we're going to have to play unbelievably well to win.
Yeah.
So we're at practice, and I told a couple of guys, my coaches, they said, Coach, what are you going to do? I told them, we ain't going to guard her. And they said, do what? I said, we're not going to guard her. I want you to get a hand up. She has to bounce once to her left and shoot. So she gets into you and bounces. So we just backed off and held up a hand. And a couple other coaches that play them were going to watch because I told them what we're going to do. I think she had 8 points. But for a shooter that plays like that to have to stand open and all of a sudden shoot the basketball, just something that they're not used to.
Yeah.
If you're in a situation now, if you got the best team and you're going to stay with your stuff, that kind of thing. But sometimes you just gotta come up with some stuff that's crazy.
The thing that made Olivia, and we've had her on the show. Olivia made her different, and I saw it, and you probably know this. I would walk into that gym.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
At crazy hours and shooting.
Yes. Yes. And that's what
she was crazy out of her mind. Like, I mean, it's phenomenal. Like,
that's what people don't understand.
You want to be a Division I player?
You don't make it. Yeah. You don't make yourself a good player during the season.
No,
it's during the summer and during the off season.
Yeah. Oh man, all the time, every day. I walked into that gym. She's shooting. Yeah. She's shooting. She's. And that's why Olivia Vandegrift was Yeah,
that's exactly right. You know,
she beat the coaches there. I mean, it was crazy.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah. So, what would you say the biggest win as a coach at Brindlee Mountain has been for you? You've been there for a little while now.
Yeah, I think 9 years. I think there's been several. The ones that I remember the most are, and I can't give you the exact teams. But I tell you what I love, and this is one of the reasons I coach too. And I got this from Bill Jones, the coach at Jacksonville State that I played for.
Yeah.
There's nothing more exciting to me than to go into the dressing room at the end of a game that you weren't supposed to win.
Yes.
And you win. That is the best feeling in the world. And there's been several like that. But just when you weren't supposed to, and things just fall right, they play hard. We've beaten a couple of Sylvania teams and people that came in, just folks that we weren't supposed to beat, and it just falls together, and that's the best feeling in the world, and that's where those kids learn something too.
Yeah, and those are moments you never forget.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah.
So, as a player, what was that moment for you?
My claim to fame, playing wise, well, in high school, I was the number 3 player in the state of Alabama when I came out.
Wow.
And I visited Auburn, Alabama, UAB, Mississippi State, and Tennessee, and signed with UAB because it was the closest one.
Yeah, yeah.
But loved it down there. But just, I averaged 28 a game in high school with no 3-point line.
Yeah.
But my claim to fame is, and I got really close with Coach Bartow. I was not a great college player because of defense, but I could shoot. So I played in what is still the largest crowd to ever see a basketball game in the state of Alabama.
Wow.
Till this day.
Wow.
And it was in Birmingham Jefferson Civic Center, and we were playing DePaul University. They were the number 1 team in the nation with Mark Aguirre, Clyde Bradshaw. I mean, it holds 17-9. There was 19,000 in there that night.
Good night.
And I went in at the end of the game and hit 3 right at the 3. He put me in the game and said, shoot it every time you touch it. And I hit 3 jumpers. One of them's over Mark Aguirre. That put us ahead. You could have feel the building move. And they ended up they ended up beating us 1. I'll tell you another cool story about the Civic Center. They're all playing down there now. During the year where the hockey team beat the Russians.
Yeah.
I had 2 roommates one was from Minnesota and one was from somewhere. They were big hockey people. I didn't even know what a hockey stick was.
Yeah.
But I got caught up into watching it. Well, they would play Sweet Home Alabama was kind of their theme song, the hockey team that year.
Wow.
And so we're playing a game in the Civic Center, and it was packed that night. I think it was VCU, Virginia Commonwealth or somebody. But we're playing, and they're playing that game against Russia that night too. So it's during our game. All of a sudden, Sweet Home Alabama comes over the PA in Birmingham Jefferson Civic Center. That's it. No announcement. Just boom, 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 and the crowd stood up and started giving an ovation. I'm getting chills now.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they make the announcement, the score, whatever. Russia 2, USA 3, and that place erupted.
Wow.
But every time I walk in there,
the miracle.
Yes, every time I walk in the Civic Center now to see a game, I think about that night because it was unbelievable.
Yeah. Wow.
But it's just I think about, like you said earlier, a lot of great teammates over the years, and through what I used to call Spacebook, and I really thought that's what it was, but it's Facebook. I'm able to keep up with a lot of those guys, and man, it's just played with some good ones, and you still remember them, and you know as well. You see them to this day, and I might have seen them in 20 years, but you're right back like you've known each other your whole life.
Yeah, man, wow.
Oh, let me bring up another couple of things. First of all, Matt Nelson, it's at New Hope. Matt Nelson coached the boys and the girls this year. He played for me at Sneed State. Proud of him. Yeah. Brock Morris played for me. He's from Albertville. He played 1 year for me at Sneed State, and then he went to work at Alabama for Grant as a graduate assistant. He ended up at Louisiana Lafayette as an assistant. He went from there to Ole Miss as their top assistant, and he's now at Oklahoma as their top assistant. So that's the guy from Albertville that's doing really well in the business.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
That's a cool story. And you know what's cool is when you're the coach and you, because I've know what you're saying.
Right.
I'm 16 years in youth ministry now. The cool stuff is not how many you had when it's the kids and watching them do what you did.
Yes.
You know, that's what's exciting for me.
This reminds me. Y'all know Anthony at the Gleam. Anthony goes to church with me. But 2 years ago we had a media day.
Yeah.
For Marshall County basketball, and so Anthony came up and Coach Pelham and I and Coach Howard. We all were at Jacksonville State together, and we're over there talking. So Anthony comes up and he says he's been over talking to all the young new coaches over here. So he comes over to us and he's, guys, y'all all got Jacksonville State ties. Let me talk to y'all a little bit about what's going on. I said, Anthony, let me tell you. I said, see all those young coaches over there? They over there talking about 2-3 zones, man-to-man. They're talking about personnel. I said, you come over here and talk to us. We talking about hemorrhoids and CPAPs.
The change.
And then I had to tell him, don't write that in there now.
Yeah.
But I said, that's kind of where it is.
Yeah. That's what it went. But I appreciate your impact on this county. Man, all the people you've impacted, man, we're lucky to have you.
Well, thank you. That's what makes me feel good.
Yeah.
It's to see kids and see parents, see kids to, I've had kids over the years that I mean went to jail that or didn't make it or whatever, but would contact you later on, and now they're doing good. Now they're a coach. I've had parents say, "I wish we would have listened to you." Yeah. And that's the sad thing too is you see so much pressure on kids nowadays. It's a year-long process.
Yeah.
I'll be one of the old school people that I don't like that. I don't like all the travel ball. I don't like all the. I mean, I want mine in the gym at Brindlee in the summertime and us working and having fun and becoming a team.
Yeah.
It's just so much. So many injuries. So many. Baseball's awful.
Yeah.
But just I wish, and it'll never get back to that. And the stuff that's going on in college right now is not going to help it.
Yeah.
It all kind of trickles down. So
yeah.
You do the best you can, keep your glass half full, and find a way to try to do the best you can and not just wallow in it, and try to do something good.
Well, Coach, I mean, our show's not over, but thank you so much, and you've always been good to me, been a part of this show, and I've always thought the world of you.
Thank you so much.
And like I said, our community is so lucky to have you. Those kids are. And I'm lucky to have you on the show today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
For this interview.
Thank you.
I always enjoy your motivation and wish, man, I sit back and think, I wish I could have played for you. I really do. So, all right, have you enjoyed this season of your life better, or would you say
I think
in the past?
I think right now, and it's been really cool. The past right before COVID and then this past year, we had to cut it out for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But we have had, and it's kind of a funny story, but Mark Jones from Guntersville, he's retired now, but he became the head of the Alabama High School Athletic Association over all the officials.
Wow.
Football, basketball, everything. So
yeah.
And I have a reputation of not being real kind to officials. I'm trying to do better. So anyway, Mark, Alan Cosby is the.
Be kind to my people, please.
Alan Cosby is he's the superintendent of Etowah County, and he calls me one day.
Yeah.
He says, "Hey," and when we used to do our scrimmages at Jacksonville State, Cosby and a guy from Gadsden, Kyle Chambers, were both starting into college basketball officiating, so they would come and do our scrimmages.
Yeah.
And so I got to know them over 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
And so Cosby calls me one day and says, "Hey, Mark Jones called me, and he's just hired me to take over the Northern District of the officials, which included our officials and everybody they pay.
Yeah.
Everybody we play.
Yeah.
And he said, we want to do the clinic at Brindlee Mountain, which means about 175, 200 officials. Everybody will have.
Wow.
And we want you to be the guest speaker."
Wow.
And I'm like, what? So, but they were doing it to try to help us.
Yeah.
So they came in, and I told those guys, right off the bat when we were talking about some of this stuff, we're not real good here at Brindlee Mountain, but we're getting better. And had an opportunity to talk with the guys and get to know them. And it was really a cool thing. So I was a guest speaker for all the officials, and I got a great. I mean, I really do. I have a whole lot of respect, especially for nowadays.
Yes.
Old school was like we were talking about. It was a little bit different, but now we got people in the stands and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got off kind of on a different track, but that was something pretty cool that we've had at Brindlee.
They have to fight the people in the crowd as much as they do.
Yeah. Yes. And
I've been one of those people. No, not really. I'm
yes.
just saying. I've been at a football game and I wanted to take my glasses to the ref before. I know that's terrible.
Yeah. Yes.
Have you ever been thrown out of a game?
Yes.
Yeah.
The world record was I was coaching at Albertville, and there wasn't a minute gone into the game. And back then you had to get 3 to get thrown out.
Yeah.
And and we were playing Douglas and Coach Jonas Senior, and it was real quick. It was 3 or less than a minute. So I went to the dressing room, came back. This is a funny story. I'm gonna tell it. So I go to the dressing room, and I snuck under the bleachers and had me a place to watch it. Well, when it all happened, everybody's standing up. It's a melee. I'd thrown my coat on the floor, and so my bookkeeper asked their bookkeeper. They had 6 free throws. Did he make all 6? And their bookkeeper said no. He made 5. So they go play the game. Well, I'm watching it. Right at the end of the game, we run a little UCLA play for Michael Cecil, kid had then, and he catches it, goes up, scores, goes to overtime, and we win in overtime. Good team. It's when Wigley played at Douglas.
Yeah.
Clint Wigley. And so anyway, after it was over with, Coach Jonas came out. Well, they had hit all 6 free throws, so it never should have went to overtime. They should have been up 1 at regulation.
Yeah.
So the next day, Coach called. And, of course, the state said, the rule is officials leave the floor, ball games in the books. So I see Coach Jonas to this day, a lot of times at Publix by where I live, and he'll look at me and I'll look at him, and no, we'll start arguing. No, we won this game. Oh, man.
Still at it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's funny.
The Varsity Freestyle.
That means it's your turn to win a 5-person all-day pass to B&B Video Games. All you got to do is answer 3 questions. We're going to help you, though, because it's like phone a friend, and we have the answers. So we're going to help you get through this. All you got to do is call in. I'm going to ask the question, and then you call the number, and we're going to talk to you. What is the name of the longest river in South America? What is the name of the longest river in South America?
Want to win? Call us now at 256-505-0885.
All right, Steven, I have a really cool opportunity right now. Mm-hmm. This is my oldest son is on the phone. He's never done this before. This is going in 7 years.
Oh, wow.
So he's never done this phone call before. But Josiah, I'm going to ask you some questions and see if you can answer them.
Okay, Daddy.
What is the name of the longest river in South America?
The Amazon River.
That is correct. That is correct. I hope your mom's behind you on this next one. Which U.S. state is known for their peaches? It's the state right beside us.
Georgia.
Yes, Georgia. Then last but not least, and only your mom's going to know this. Steve Harvey is a game show host. What is the name of that show?
Family Feud.
Correct! You have won. I did not send, for all of you out there, I did not send the answers to my family. So they had to answer those. Family Feud, correct. And we are so glad that you called in, Josiah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I will see you at home.
Okay.
Bye.
Well, when am I going to get my gift card?
When Steven gives them to me. Yes. Love you, son.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
He likes to win. So, Steven will play the game, and he'll call in to talk to Steven. But I'll only let him do it once a month.
Right.
Because and every day, can I call in today? No, it's not been a month, son. Can I call in today? No, son.
That's awesome. How old is he?
He's 6. He's about to be 7. So it's fun. He plays basketball too.
That's
so,
cool. That's good.
I want him. That was my sport. That was the only thing I was good at. Not good enough, but I was good at it.
Right.
And so, but I say I grew up in the Michael Jordan era when everybody wanted to play.
Yes.
And so, it was fun to watch him.
Oh yeah.
And so,
the old joke used to be, who's the only person to ever hold him out of double figures?
Who's that?
Dean Smith.
Oh wow.
Huh.
At North Carolina.
Wow.
But if you go back and look at the videos, he was not very big when he came out of North Carolina. He was thin.
Yeah.
Man, he bulked up.
6'6".
Yeah.
But man, he was Olivia Vandergriff. Like he's gonna outwork everybody.
Yeah.
He was determined. I've watched some video clips of him since then where guys would just big talk it and then he would just drop it on them. Like get in the game and make them look dumb. Like
oh yeah, he was amazing.
He was fun.
I saw him play his last game.
No.
He was playing for the Wizards.
Yes.
He bought part of it. I think it was his last game. It was in Atlanta. We carried the kids over there. Carried some of the players from our kids' team over there.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since I'd seen an NBA game, but he didn't play much until the end, and it was close.
Yeah.
And he would come in spots, but at the end he took it over.
Yeah.
For about 4 or 5 possessions and won the game.
Yeah.
It was crazy, but man, it's.
Do you know how old he was when he retired?
I think he was in his 40s, early 40s, but I think he was.
Man, he was so good. He started early 80s though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was incredible.
I never got to see it, unfortunately.
That's the LeBron Jordan guys, and and he did get to play with Larry Bird. And
he did
stuff like
those All-Star or those the games that played in the Olympics.
Yeah.
There was a guy named Sonny Vaccaro. Sonny Vaccaro he started all the Michael Jordan stuff with Nike.
Yeah.
Sonny was the biggest legal. You're talking about this stuff going on in college now. There was a corral of coaches back then, about 8 of them that were Nike coaches, and Sonny Vaccaro, they would start these kids, which was legal in the inner cities, with Nike stuff when they were kids.
Yeah.
They ended up being, great high school players, and they would guide them where they went. Bobby Crimmins at Georgia Tech was one of them when he got the kid Mabrey out of New York. But if they needed a point guard or they needed this, and that guy's the one that started Jordan.
Wow.
If you ever get to watch a documentary on him, I'd met him before. He was the guy. He was the guy the colleges wanted involved with him because it's something.
Get you what you need.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, have you ever seen some drama out there on the court?
Oh yeah. Oh golly, yeah.
How about out on the field?
He does.
Football?
He does female basketball.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, there's just as much. He'll tell you there's just as much with males.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see it as easily.
I wonder if you ever see anything as just blatant as this.
This is hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Watch this.
This is great. This is great.
Did that happen this year?
Sensational, folks. If you have young
that
children,
is awesome.
Look at the delay.
Oh yeah.
Look at the delay.
That's awesome.
Why? That's hilarious.
Now, Coach, besides coaching, do you have to teach anything? I know lots of times you coaches, you'll teach history or science or something like that.
Yeah, I have physical education.
Physical education.
And I guess you call it teaching.
He's the smartest guy at the school.
That's right. Now, I'll tell you something that's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 years ago, we had the tornado hit our primary school at Union Grove.
I remember that.
So there was a big thing about whether to build that school back or to bring those kids to Brindlee High School. And we did. We just finished a new part to the school, and all the K through second grade kids are there now. And so I have them in the gym. I don't have other teachers teach their PE, but they're in the gym every morning when we're in there too.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, you talking about keeping you young. The kindergarten through second graders are awesome. Those kids, I have a blast with them.
Yeah.
But that's really cool.
That's my son's a first grader.
Oh yeah.
I got a preschooler and a first grader and a 5-month-old.
Oh, goodness.
So I'm very tired.
We'll be for a while.
Yeah. The first grader and the preschooler, they run circles around me.
Right.
Literally.
That's amazing. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Greg is ready to go.
All right.
Ready to bring him up here in about 14 seconds.
Now, sports analyst Greg Glasscock.
Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, the voice of the Wildcats, Greg Glasscock. How are you?
Great, guys. How are y'all doing today?
Man, I am good. I am surrounded by basketball legends here. I have Trevor Holson back from Gunnersville basketball. I have Tony Mabrey.
Oh, the legend.
The legend, yes, in the studio. So we're just here to hear the legend of sports broadcasting. So Greg, talk to us.
This will disappoint down to my level, probably.
Disappoint, no. So,
well, I tell you guys, it's a great time of year. Of course, we're in the basketball Final Four in Birmingham. And, of course, the Cats play tomorrow night at 7:30 against Viger. And then if they win that, they'll play the winner of Valley and Fairfield. And that game will be Saturday morning. So, tough teams. But, you know, as Coach Self mentioned in his press conference at Jacksonville, you know, they were the underdogs. Nobody gave them much of a chance. Jacksonville, they pulled it off. They've actually, now if you go back to the sub-regional, they beat 3 straight teams that are ranked. And they haven't been ranked all year. And then, of course, the other 3 teams in the Final Four, they're all highly ranked in the top 5. And Gunnersville's not ranked. So, got to just keep on going, you know. It's supposed to be tough this time of year, and it is, and I would say the main thing to do is go out there and be loose and have fun, because in a way I feel like they're kind of playing with house money, sort of, because I don't think many people are giving them a chance. So let's just see how long we can keep riding this thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's something when you make a Final Four. You know, and Gunnersville hadn't won a championship since I think it was the mid-'70s, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, they've overcome a lot. I mentioned at Jacksonville it would take a team effort to get through there, and that's basically what's happened. You know, you can't get to this point of the season and rely on like 1 or maybe 2 scores. And like at Alexandria and at Jacksonville, we had, you know, like 4 and 5 guys in double figures most games. So that's what it's going to take, is everybody. You can't rely on just 1 or 2 people. So, you know, hopefully they'll keep going. Of course, you know, the Civic Center, the sight lines and everything is going to be a little bit different, so I'm sure it's going to take them a while to probably adjust when they first get there, which I think they actually left the school this morning, and I don't know where they were going to do a shoot around. I think they were going to practice somewhere today. And I would assume maybe in the morning to get ready for tomorrow night. I don't know exactly what the schedule is. But Gunnersville should bring a big crowd tomorrow night, and that'd be very good to see.
Yeah. Wow. Well, them, and I know you don't cover them, but the DAR Patriots.
Yeah, that's right. I don't want to leave out the boys on Grant Mountain there. They, if I'm not mistaken, I think they play tonight.
Yeah.
At 7:30. So best wishes to Coach Jonas and the Patriots. They've had a heck of a season.
Wow. Incredible. Well, Greg, that was a great update. And, I mean, wouldn't it be cool if both of them pulled it out? In the same year.
Boy, it would be, not only to make the championship games, but to bring back the Marshall County State Championship.
Two of them.
It'd be safe to say that's never been done before.
Yeah, that'd be impressive. So
that'd be great.
I hope both of those teams can pull it out just for our county. That would be amazing.
Oh, yeah. No doubt of that. And they got a shot. There's, you know, when you get to this point of year, you never know. That's why you tip the ball off You never know. You can go by records and stats and heights and all that stuff, but you got to play the game,
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I know this Biger team, they're playing out of the Mobile area tomorrow night. It's a very tall, very athletic team. I know at times this year Gunnersville has struggled with height and tall post players and stuff, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. They'll have their hands full, but hey, you're not supposed to be facing a
easy
team.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the scores this year, and I've tried to keep up at work on radio with some of the games, and there's really, it's been a little sad and embarrassing. I don't know if you've kept up, but there's really been some runaways in the game so far. I don't know how much you know about Spring Gardens girls in 1A. They're an absolute machine, and they
Coach
were
Mabrey said that
41-0.
He said it was what 49, 49-3,
41-0 at the half, and I quit watching it. It was 49-3 in the third quarter.
And I saw them actually in person, Spring Garden. First time I've ever been there earlier this year, and
scary.
Had no idea they had no cell service there. So my wife was worried to death all the evening, wondered if I was still alive or not. But I tell you, I think that team right there could beat just about any girls' team in any classification. At least I'd put them up against about anybody.
Oh yeah, they got all kind of players. Jana McGinnis and the what's the girl's name that's so good at Spring Garden?
Ace Austin, her dad.
His mother and her twin sister played for me at Jacksonville State, and we've been friends for a long time. Ricky everybody called him Rat his whole life because he had a rat tail back then. But
I remember those. You don't.
But Jana and Dana Bright, they played for me. The only reason I got them at Jacksonville State was because Rick Moody was only offered one of them, and so I got them both. And boy, you're talking about two good players, and their daughter is something else.
Wow.
And Coach, if I'm not mistaken, aren't there banners hanging up at Pete Matthews Coliseum?
Yes.
The two brought,
Yes, and as a matter of fact, out in the lobby is it's got the pictures of my teams there, but the one of them that they played on is still recognized as the winningest team in Jacksonville State history.
Wow.
That's great.
We averaged 92 a game and led the nation in scoring.
Wow. He didn't remember though.
Yeah, actually, I took my girls down to a game.
Not keeping count.
I took my girls down to a game there. They invited them.
Wow.
And I had no idea that was out there.
Wow.
It was after the tornado came and they redid Pete Matthews.
Yeah.
And I introduced myself to the assistant coach at Jacksonville, and he said, "Coach, you need to go out in the lobby and look." And went out there, and it had all those teams. It's got Bill Jones teams on one side and the girls teams on the other.
That's so awesome.
So it was pretty cool.
Wow.
And my players were walking up. I never told them.
Wow.
And they were looking up there. I was about 50 pounds heavier. And they were looking up there going, "Coach, that's you." I was like, yeah. Yep.
There I am. So I figured, Greg, you would enjoy the people in the room today.
Oh, yeah. I wish I was in studio today. Yeah, I bet y'all had a lot of fun today.
We have. But, Greg, thank you for updating us, and I hope when you come back next week, we'll have 2 state championships for Marshall County.
Boy, that would be super, wouldn't it, guys?
It really would.
But regardless, win or lose, I'll give you an update next Tuesday, and it's been a great season. But yeah, let's bring home a couple blue maps for the county.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah, thanks, Greg.
All right, see y'all. Have a good one.
Sometimes history and physics and science, these kids, they're learning brand new stuff. And I don't know if you've ever put this together before, Coach, or you either, Seth or
Trevor.
Sorry, man.
You're good.
Sorry. Okay.
He's
Trevor.
a legend.
All right, here we go. So, gravity. Just gravity. Isaac Newton discovered gravity in 1655. So this is how people were in 1654.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
I thought this was awesome.
If only. Until that looks terrifying.
Right? Unless some Matrix stuff going on.
Yeah,
there.
that'd be scary up through them trees. I never thought about that.
A little perspective. A few of what we call shower thoughts. These things you just randomly think about, but these are delivered by a very special vessel. His name is King Chili, the pug.
If you have 2 pillows, the top pillow is using the bottom pillow as a pillow. Technically, your alarm tone is your theme song because it starts every episode. You could totally look at it now.
Wow.
Earth is a wet rock that's been sitting out so long, stuff has started to grow on it. A keychain is a ring invented so that you can lose all your keys at once.
Wow.
Because it's convenient when you have them all together, but it's not that convenient when you lose them because you lose access to literally everything. A person standing in front of you is technically the person standing the furthest away behind you.
What?
There you go.
Thank
King
you,
Chili has
Steven.
spoken.
I
You're
didn't
welcome.
know I needed that, but apparently, apparently I did.
And for this week's episode of Creepy Dave.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, you know I'm gonna do it. Here we go.
Brace yourself.
Today's best favorite animal. He's called Lemursus. This one's like the basic Lemursus. He's look like a monkey who dress up like a cat. It's not a cat. As you can see, it have perfect hair for camouflage into a stack of Oreos. or like old-time prison where they're eating Oreos. Lemursus live in groups of like one to more than two, and his favorite sport is synchronized sitting. This one is a different kind of Lemursus. It's called a fucking.
I like that.
As you can see, they like sit on the bump of trees. It don't feel good, but it's a reminder bump of trees who's in charge. It is theirs. When they go to the ground, they has a special kind of walking. It look like someone on a plane with urgent diarrhea trying to squeeze past the drink cart. He's graceful like a bee with also diarrhea. Anyway, this is one more kind of Lemursus. It's called him Driggedangen. He's really great at distracted eating. His look maybe like he's have a surprise colonoscopy. Or maybe he's like use the tingly shampoo down there. But it's okay. He's just staring into space. Maybe he's think about to kill a chicken. This is what's best favorite animal. Okay, bye. This is Creepy Dave. Animal Show. Okay.
Wow. I never know what to say after those.
Right? Yeah. It's just become a part of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm officially creeped out.
All
Usually,
right, my final one.
All right.
Usually I save these for Jordan, but I've got to do this. It's so good. He's gonna love this too.
Yeah.
Owen Wilson.
I haven't done this in a while, but here's Owen Wilson as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay, hold on. I'm professional. Okay, wait. Yeah, I knew your dad. I fought next to him in the Clone Wars. He was a pretty good pilot. Kind of like somebody I know. Guess what? Surprise, it's you. The Force is kind of... Alright, so it kind of like binds a galaxy together. You know what I mean? I don't really know what I mean, but it's present and it's there. And that's exciting. What's going on, Darth? You got a goofy mask. You sound weird. Hey, Luke, I don't mean to interrupt, but just reach out with the Force.
I can totally see Owen Wilson playing that part. He did such a good job of that.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right, y'all ready for some...
Buzzer beater.
Buzzer beater, yeah.
The buzzer beater.
There it is. That means it's the end of the show. We know you're crying in the radio. You enjoyed Coach Mabrey as much as I did, and so we don't want all that wisdom to go to waste. So you can come back and rewind anytime you need a motivational speech from a great coach. You can find that on any of our social medias at
Facebook at Varsity Radio Show, at Instagram at Varsity Radio Show,
Twitter,
X at Varsity Radio 885.
Over on TikTok at Varsity Radio Show and YouTube at Varsity Radio Show 885.
And podcasts, we're everywhere. We're Apple Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and Horizon Communications TV. Hey, good to see you guys. Hey, we want to tell you about the fuel of the Varsity, the Char Burger, home of the famous Char Grill Wildcat Burger, Philly cheesesteak, jumbo crispy onion rings, and these guys, man, they had a Wildcat with bacon and cheese today. How was that?
Awesome.
Hits
good
the
stuff.
spot. And then B&B Video Games. It's the 80s style arcade in the back, local video game retail store in the front, known as the Albertville Mullet, right beside Pizza Hut. That is B&B Video Games. Hey, we want you to come back next week, same Varsity time, same Varsity place. We're going to have Marshall Christian in here. It's going to be fantastic. Come join us. We'll see you next week, 88.5 JFM, the Varsity Radio Show.
The Varsity Radio Show, Tuesdays, 2:30 to 4:30 on 88.5 JFM. Streaming live to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And live on the radio.
That's me. Take a seat.
Check, check, check.
I'm about to have a good day, no matter what they say. Sun is shining down on me, birds are singing praise. I'm about to have a good day, in every single way. The God who made the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day.
I needed that. Thank you, bro.